Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I filmed this tutorial way back when it was Easter time. I was all inspired by like pretty colours and stuff like that. So obviously it's past Easter time, so you could double this as a beautiful festival look. Okay, so we're first just going to start off with our eyebrows. I'm just going to brush them through first, and then I'm going to fill them in with my Chi Chi brow pomade as usual. So I'm just going to line the top first, and then I'm going to line the bottom and just fill in all the spaces in between. And then after I've filled them in, I just like to brush them through briefly just to make sure it's all blended throughout and that there's no harsh lines. And we're obviously going to repeat that on the other eyebrow. Moving on to my eyelids now, I'm first going to prime them with this MAC Painterly Paint Pot in the shade Soft Ochre, and I'm also going to just run that under my brow a little bit just to like carve it out a little bit, I guess. And if anyone has this at home, try and work quickly with it as it does tend to dry very quickly. After I've applied that, I'm just going to grab like a softer blender brush and I'm just going to blend out that paint pot out nice and seamlessly to prep our eyelids for our shadow. And I'm just going to quickly set that as well, just with a larger fluffy brush, just with a translucent powder to make blending easier. To start off my shadow, I'm going to use this Inglot shadow in the shade 337, which is sort of like a nice contour brown shade, I guess is what you'd call it. And I'm just going to pop that in my crease with this Jessup blender brush, and I'm just going to use this as my transition shade. My next shade that I'm going to use is this Inglot shadow as well in the number 319, and it's like a nice soft pinky shade. And again, I'm just going to throw that in the crease with this Exo Beauty blender brush. That's what it is. Here I just picked up that original blender brush that I was using, just with that pink shade again, just a little bit of it, just to help blend out that more, just to make sure there's no harsh lines. And now I'm jumping into this, what is this? This Morphe 12P palette, and I'm just going to grab that pink shade on that same Exo Beauty blender brush, and I'm just going to again just chuck that in the crease. I'm now grabbing another Inglot shadow. This one is the number 375 and it's just a nice purple shade. So I'm going to grab this on a more fluffier brush. This is a pinched Nude by Nature blending brush, and I'm again just going to put that in the crease. I am trying to wing it out a little bit just so it gives a nice cat eye effect. I'm now grabbing that same Morphe 12P palette, and I'm just grabbing the purple out of this palette. This one's a little bit darker than that Inglot shadow, and I'm just going to grab this on a tapered Jessup blender brush, and I'm just going to focus that right in the depth of my crease just to give some depth, and of course mimicking that on my other eye. I'm just going to grab this black out of the Morphe palette on this Sigma E45 brush, and I'm just going to pop that right in my outer V just to give even more depth to my eye, and I am going to swing that up into my crease a little bit. And just swapping back to that Jessup brush with a tiny bit more of that purple shade just to make sure everything's nice and blended and there is no harsh edges. Picking up this nice pretty teal shade now out of that Morphe palette, just on that same Sigma brush, and poke yourself in the eye at the same time. And I'm just going to run that under my lower lash line and sort of bring it up into my crease at the same time. grabbing this darker blue shade now, just on that same brush, and I'm just going to work that on the outer half of my lower lash line, just because I felt like it, and again bringing it up into my crease just so there's a nice transition of all the colours there. And making sure everything's well blended, I'm just jumping back into that Jessup tapered blender brush, and it hasn't got any more product on it. I'm just making sure it's all blended. So moving on to the rest of my face now, I'm going to grab my Urban Decay self-adjusting complexion primer, and I'm just going to smear that all over my face. And I look like I'm rubbing my face really hard here, and I'm not really 100% sure why. But anyway. Now that I've taken all the colour out of my face, I'm going to try and put a little bit more back in. I'm going to use my True Match foundation in the shade 2N, and after I blended all this out, I realised that it had the wrong lid on it. I was meant to grab 3N, so yeah, after I blended all this out, I then realised that it was way too light for my skin. So then I grabbed 3N and put that over the top to help make my face look a little less white. As you can see here, look at the colour on my hand. Silly me. Now that my foundation's all done, I'm going to grab my all-time favourite Maybline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and we're just going to pop this on all the parts where I would like to highlight and or conceal, so under my eyes and down my T-zone, and then blending it out with my same sponge that I was using for my foundation. If I don't look very happy in this video, it's because I just tested out the Silisponge before I tried this video, and it was the biggest fail and I had to take off all my makeup. So yeah, if anyone wants to see that video, I'll link it down below, but yeah, I don't like it. So here I'm just setting all my concealer with the RCMA No Colour powder, and I'm just going to pop that on all the places where I put that concealer. And while we wait for that to bake, I'm just going to set the rest of my face with my, of course, Nude by Nature pressed powder. And I'm just going to pat that all over my face just with a nice big fluffy brush. And moving on to contouring my face, I'm going to grab this shade here out of the NYX Contour palette on this nice fluffy brush, and I'm just going to bronze up my skin a little bit, just on all the places where I normally do, so along my cheeks and around my forehead. For my contour, I'm going to grab this lighter brown shade out of that same NYX contour kit, and I'm just going to carve out my cheekbones. I am using the Morphe brush. Yeah, it's a Morphe brush. I quite like this brush to contour with, sometimes if I'm going for like a less contoured look, if that makes any sense. So now I'm just brushing off that bake. It's sat on there for long enough. I'm just using that same big fluffy brush that I used to set my foundation. Now that I've brushed off my bake, I'm going to grab this banana colour powder out of that same contour kit on this XO Beauty Shimmer Tulip brush, I think it is, and I'm just going to apply that under my eyes and all those little places that I concealed. Moving back onto the eyes now, I'm going to grab this shade Summer out of the Anastasia Glow Kit, and I'm just going to pop that on my eyelid and just in my inner corner, just because I couldn't really decide on what colour I wanted to put on the lid, so I thought, let's use this one. And I'm just running over those blue shades again with a little bit more blue because I got a little bit lost after I did the concealer and stuff, so I'm just making sure that they are there, and then just, you know, doing some touch-ups on the top there. And now I'm just going to do that cute little glitter cut crease thing that I've got going on here. I'm just using the Chi Chi glitter liners, and this was not very easy to do. Yeah, we'll leave it at that, shall we? Now that I've done that liner, I'm going to move on to blush. This is the NYX blush in the shade Peach, and I'm just going to grab that on a nice duo fiber brush and just brush that over my cheeks. For my highlighter, I'm just going to use that same summer shade that we used on our eyelids out of the Anastasia Sun Dipped Glow Kit, and I'm just going to pop that on all the high points of my face that I wish to bring some light to. Quickly going to run some brow gel now through my brows to make sure they stay there all day. I am using the Essence Make Me Brow in the shade Brownie Points. And just going to give my lashes a nice good coat of mascara on the top and bottom. This one is CoverGirl the Supersizer Mascara in, of course, the shade Black. I just quickly popped on some false lashes. These are Ardell Whispies, and this is how the look is looking so far. We're almost done. We just got to move on to lipstick. So I'm using, of course, Jeffree Star, as I normally always do, in the shade Mannequin, and I'm just going to fill my lips in nicely with this colour. And the shade looks really pink on camera. It's really weird. It's normally like a really nice nude on me, but it's still pretty nonetheless. So here is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, or if you thought it was helpful, give this video a big thumbs up for me. I'd really enjoy if you could do that. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. It'd help me out a lot as well. And you can also follow me on my Instagram, which is Makeup by JC Lee. Okay, that's it for today, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!